Hi guys, how you doing? Okay, so I thought I'm making up these IFAKs, and you know, if you've been in the military, you've seen these things. They're everywhere. Everyone's got one. Everyone's trained on them, and you know they're very familiar. But for those of you who haven't been in the military, I often wonder what's in those little bags attached to the battle belts. This is them. This is the IFAK. Stands for Individual First Aid Kit, designed for injuries on the front line. So I thought, whilst I'm making these up, I'll actually show you what's inside them. I'll break one down, I'll show you what's inside and what the stuff does and why we use it. Forgive me guys, I've got a bit of a cold today, so I sound like a heavy breather. I'm not, I've just got a cold. So, here we go. This one here, obviously not an IFAK, you can tell, this is just a refill pouch. Someone who needs a refill of their IFAK, but they don't actually need the IFAK itself. We would give them one of these, and that way they can refill with fresh equipment. I'm wearing gloves, by the way. I don't want to spread germs and obviously keep this as sterile as possible. The IFAK itself, we can see that's a side view of it, very small. Here's my hand, very compact. Now I've dissected one. This is the same IFAK, only broken up. We can see the IFAK actually comes in two parts. This is a detachable IFAK. This part here would remain on the belt, and if you need to pull the IFAK away for any reason, it can detach. They have a handle on them that you can use to detach the IFAK. Gives you easier access to it in case of an emergency. Now, onto the contents of the IFAK. This is them. This is generally what an IFAK will contain. There will be a few extra pieces added into this one, but we'll go through that. Tourniquet, first and foremost. Tourniquets are fantastic. These are CAT Gen 7 tourniquets designed to put around the limb, arm or leg, or you can double them up for pelvic injury if you need to. Excellent tourniquets. I haven't actually heard of a single failure of these things. They are fantastic. We have the pressure bandage. Pressure bandage is pretty much does exactly what it says. It applies pressure to the wound to stop the bleeding. The pressure bandage works alongside the hemostatics. Now, the hemostatics are a gauze with a hemostatic coating that actually encourages the blood to clot and stops the bleeding. We have a trauma bandage and the shears. Now, the shears come in different sizes. These are the ones I prefer, the bigger ones, to cut away clothing and equipment if we need to access the patient. Moving along, chest seal. No, need a chest seal if you get a bullet wound in the chest, shrapnel, we can apply the chest seal. The chest seals come in twos. Maybe this one, yep, two dressings, one in the front, one in the back. That's for a through and through. Now, the one in the front will be vented and the one in the back will be unvented. Of course, we have our alcoholic wipes, our wound dressing. We've got the solution for the eyes if you ever need to use it. It's really good for the eyes. Duct tape. You show me a single medical bag or someone in the military who doesn't have duct tape. You know, it's everywhere. And it has so many uses. That's unreal, that stuff. NPA, nasopharyngeal airway, comes as well with its little lubricant gel for the nose to help open up the airways. We have our emergency blanket. Our pill pack that contains amoxicillin, you know, that's for your infection. This one also contains paracetamol, 1000 milligrams paracetamol, and of course ibuprofen if you need an anti-inflammatory basically. Needle decompression. This is if you have a tension pneumothorax, that's a collapsed lung. We can insert the needle, relieve the pressure on the chest. It's a lot more complicated than that. You do need training to use it, but that is the basics of what it does, okay? Gloves, of course, body substance isolation, eye shield, burns dressing, and because we're in Ukraine, of course, we have the casualty cards. Now, the casualty cards come in both English and Ukrainian. You can see they're pretty much identical, but depending on who's receiving the IFAK, it will be in their language. The same applies to a lot of the equipment, for example, the hemostatics, the let's say the pressure bandages. The packaging for a Ukrainian speaker will be in Ukrainian. We will make sure they get that. So that's what the IFAKs look like broken down. That's the end product. But before we get to that stage, this is what they come like. This is the IFAKs. They generally come in containers. This is all the individual components we need for each IFAK, and depending on where it's going to be deployed, who's using it, we can build the IFAK to customise. We can customise the IFAK for the person who's going to receive it. You know, these tubs are big, they contain a lot. So this is the basics. We can see here the pressure bandages and the IFAKs themselves will come empty and ready for refill. So that's just a quick overview, guys. Really, it's nothing that really special, but you know, some people might be interested. That's your IFAK. Now you know what's inside them. You take care, guys. Have a nice day.